Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, I'm gonna keep following the series from which I uploaded game 1 yesterday, last night, and this is gonna be game 2 of a best out of 3 that was held at the Intel Extreme Masters tournament. It's currently still going on, it's on its 5th day in Cologne, Germany, but this matchup it's from the early stages of day 1. A PvZ once more between these two awesome players, with this purple Zerg spawning on the 9 o'clock position, going by the name of mOOnGLaDe, the Australian Zerg, as you guys know, not a member of Team FXO anymore, and I think he's just trying to get a good result here on this tournament, try to show everyone that he is worthy of maybe another contract, another pro gaming team. I guess we're gonna have to wait for the future and see which way mOOnGLaDe will be heading, and he will be facing once more against this red Protoss spawning on the 6 o'clock position, a menacing force, Canadian but living in Korea for quite a long time now. It's HuK, a member of Team Evil Genius, by the way. He's not LiquidHuK anymore, he's EGHuK. I read some comments on the previous video, some of you guys apparently weren't aware of this move, so yeah, HuK now is teaming up with Puma and Hydra and all of the other members from Team Evil Geniuses. And also Team EG already commented that they will be getting some sort of establishment in Korea, meaning that HuK and Puma will be living on some new EG house in Korea, and Hydra already stated that he will be going there frequently, probably staying a couple of months and then heading back home, so he's not going to stay there permanently. Still, it's going to be interesting to have Hydra back on the GSL. Now, taking a look at what's going on here on both sides of the barricade, as you can see, you have kind of a battle here with this probe trying to be annoying, stealing, just ninjaing a little bit of that crystal, of those minerals, and with mOOnGLaDe keeping it safe, he's gonna open with the spawning pool to get some Zerglings out and make sure he will have something to put away that probe and stop with the scouting. Seems like the probe is gonna be heading back once more. Yes, it is. There's the probe once more, attempting to pass on that mineral line, but apparently mOOnGLaDe is on top of it. He wants to intercept the probe. Oh, almost got us around there, but no! Probe escaping just, oh, really close, but still alive and kicking, while on HuK side, as we can see, he decided to go for a similar build to the one he did on game 1, Forge and then the fast expand, meaning that, well, he's going to be playing out of 2 bases fairly soon. This is getting fairly common to see Protoss players going for this build, especially on maps this big with long rush distances. It's a risky option for the early stages of the game. Of course, you're not going to have much of a defense, but the moment this Forge will finish, you can get some static defenses, some photon cannons, meaning that HuK will be able to defend himself. He just needs to finish off this long wall off, get some buildings here, so we won't allow any of these Zerglings that you can see arriving here from mOOnGLaDe to enter his base and take more information that they should. Anyway, mOOnGLaDe has his own Overlord flying here, he's noticing exactly what build this one is, and now will be time for HuK to get some defenses, which apparently is doing while the Zerglings are finally arriving. Oh, last second pylon there, just locking that Zergling out of the base, and now also locking the probe, but the Zerglings decided to pull back, so HuK will be fine and this probe will be safe, and now cancelling those two, so he doesn't want to commit the resources to that buildings right away. He needs to invest on other stuff, probably getting that probe count rising really fast, so he's able to provide his 2 base with a lot of workers to run on those mineral lines. Taking a look here on mOOnGLaDE side, as you can see, hatchery also going. On the worker count, still fairly balanced. I was taking a look, wondering how further away would HuK be. Now he's chrono boosting some more from what I can see. But mOOnGLaDe grabbing his also his natural expo, and as a reaction to stating the fact that HuK went for the 2 fast 2 bases and the fast expand really quickly this early on the game, we just have mOOnGLaDe going for a fast, blistering fast 3rd. So he's going to be playing out of 3 bases once more, and this is starting to look quite like that game 1, kind of a carbon copy. This is the same kind of reaction we had on the previous game. Oh, this poor Zergling is gonna have so much work ahead of him. He's gonna work out on that debris all by himself. This is gonna take ages, while the Overlord apparently might be attempting to escape before he gets shot down, and so he can be used later on another day to get more inspections done on the mid and late game. Taking a look here, let's see, chrono boosting his warp gate tech. I was wondering which kind of build he would be going from here. As you guys know, this kind of fast expand is a good option for a Protoss player as long as you can defend it. And from here you can go for a lot of different options. For example, 6 gateways or 7 gateways out of 2 bases is viable, and it ends up being a massive army that you throw at your opponent and really hard to defend as a Zerg player. And another option might be to just tech up even more, making a big Air Force, Phoenixes and Void Rays, and just fly them around, harass as much as possible is another good option. So I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit long to see which which path will HuK will be following, and if he decides to go for a lot of Air Force or even a massive push, 6 gateway push. And uh-oh, seems like something is going on here. Whoa, this is a lot of gateways that HuK is making there, with this Zealot arriving, Queens greeting him, so this Zealot is not going to go anywhere. And meanwhile there's a probe here as well, not sure exactly what the plan for the probe is, just crossing there but intercepted by the 2 Queens, so no chance. And meanwhile he did a pylon there on this place that will allow him to warp in straight into the main base, and apparently HuK will be going for a 6 gateway push with 5 gateways, all of them hidden here on this corner. As you might imagine, mOOnGLaDe isn't aware of that. He only saw those 2 bases. As you can see, there's nothing for him going on here, and now you're gonna have HuK making a lot of units warping in as fast as possible, and soon enough I think you're gonna have plenty of forces from HuK just knocking on mOOnGLaDe's door, and there they are. He's massing up the Stalker count. Let's take a look, let's see the rise on the numbers there. Single Zerg arriving here. There's no way for him to enter. Oh no, he's actually open, but the photon cannon finished him up. And now we're gonna have Stalkers arriving, entering the natural exfil from mOOnGLaDe, and the battle ensues. For now, 7 Stalkers, 1 Zealot against 2 Zerglings, 3 Queens. This doesn't look good, but apparently mOOnGLaDe is going for the Roaches and working on his upgrades. +1 for his Roaches and 8 Roaches coming out. So let's see if he's gonna be able to hold this aggression, because for now it's getting really troublesome. Plenty of Stalkers showing up here. mOOnGLaDe doesn't have much of a forced to pull all of his workers out of the mineral line to help defend, and now the Roaches are finally showing up. But as you can see, HuK has been massing up a big army there, warping in a lot from that proxy pylon, and now we're gonna have Roaches versus Stalkers here, battle on the natural expo from mOOnGLaDe, back and forth action with those Stalkers reaching the mineral field and shooting down as many workers as possible. This doesn't look good. I don't think that mOOnGLaDe has enough forces to defend against this. He's getting 8 more Roaches out, popping 14 more Zerglings, so hopefully he will be able to withstand the pressure and avoid losing this hatchery this early on the game. As you can notice by the HP, it has been poked quite a lot by the Stalkers, but more and more forces arriving from HuK. HuK is just warping in more and more units, and now working a bit more on his worker count once more. So apparently HuK won't be committing all of his resources to this push. He's trying to keep his economy rolling on the back. Now a robotics facility, while the battle still goes on here, still rages on, with a lot of workers being pulled out by mOOnGLaDe, and mOOnGLaDe is just entering desperate mode here. He doesn't have much of a defense. He needs more time, he needs a bit of breathing space to get more Roaches out, so he can have a proper unit composition to battle the way against this army that HuK is composing, with the more Zealots getting warped in. I wonder if he's gonna place the Zealots on the front line to take the shots from the Roaches, while the Stalkers just DPS from the back. For now we have all of the forces from HuK pulling back once more and getting reinforced. Notice the amount of reinforcements that you keep getting here. Now some sentries getting mixed in, so force field play ensuing. Also some Guardian Shields might be helpful, and here he goes. At the same time, as you can see, mOOnGLaDe is trying to get some static defenses built. Force field play ensuing, try to split the forces from mOOnGLaDe, and this natural expo doesn't seem any healthy at all, and seems like he's going to lose it. Sniping it away by HuK. Well played, HuK, sniping it and running away, avoiding the aggression from mOOnGLaDe, and now mOOnGLaDe is stuck on this 2-base play with not much else for him to do. Meanwhile, on the back of all of this aggression, as you can see, HuK was working on his macro, Nexus on the 3rd base, all of those gateways just pumping out units, as all of you guys noticed, and the robotics facility probably will provide him with a little bit of visibility with this observers helping him out to take a look at what's actually happening on mOOnGLaDe's bases. Here we go, plenty of roaches now with the +1 upgrade. This might help him handling this amount of aggression that HuK has been throwing at him. But seems like that HuK is just giving it a break. He's trying to work on his macro, taking care of the upgrade, the +1 as well, and Immortals coming out to counter that roach play. Immortals just go through roaches very quickly, as we all know. So depending on the quantity that he might be messing up, we might see those roaches just dwindling down really fast. Incoming, warp in straight into the main base, while the bulk of the forces advancing to the natural expo once more. Facing mOOnGLaDe, EGHuK, his massive forces advancing, force field play, and the static defenses by mOOnGLaDe helping out defend those spine crawlers, poking at prodding at the stalker count. And notice that HuK is just keeping this chunk of his army on the back, not even using it. So basically he's just burning down these stalkers, trying to shoot down those spine crawlers, those static defenses, and at the same time to try to contain the movements from the roaches. But this doesn't look very good. And again, mOOnGLaDe able to resist, getting a hatchery, a macro hatchery, and the second hatchery there, which is going to be his first on the natural expo since he got it sniped like what, 2-3 minutes ago. So this might be really troublesome for mOOnGLaDe. He needs to replenish his army quite quickly. At the same time, a second warp in of Zealots into the main base, with HuK deciding to go for the exact same move. While he warps in units on that main base, he advances with the bulk of the forces on the natural expo, finishing off the static defenses. Now there's only roaches left. Keep in mind that these are +1 roaches against 0-0 stalkers. The upgrade is almost finished, and now we do have a Twilight Council, so I guess we're gonna have some upgrades rolling soon enough. Can also be to provide another step ahead towards some DT play later on. Not sure if that's going to be the case. Nice force field there, as you can see, holding all the roaches inside the main base while he focuses the fire and tries to snipe these hatcheries once more. This time is the macro hatchery that apparently will be going down. The force field play from the sentries is holding all the roaches down there, and pop goes the hatchery. No more macro hatch here on the natural expo. HuK just destroying and wreaking havoc onto the bases from mOOnGLaDe, and now the roaches finally released, trying to advance here and put away the forces from HuK, with HuK again warping in more Zealots, another Zealot force. I think it's the third wave into his main base that will be able to finish off the lair. No, there goes the lair tech, and now we're gonna have mOOnGLaDe back into the Stone Age. He doesn't have much of a solution to defend this. Notice the Observer keeping tabs on everything, while these Zealots just basically finish off and raise the build that mOOnGLaDe, all the tech, all the buildings that mOOnGLaDe had on his main base. This is going to be really troublesome. It will set mOOnGLaDe back into the Stone Age once more. He will have to rebuild all of his buildings unless he defends this. There it is, at least that spawning pool and Roach Warren are still alive and kicking. Also the Evo Chamber, meaning that you will be able to probably get the hatchery up here once more and try to regain his control on his bases, because for the last 5 minutes or so, he's been completely dominated. mOOnGLaDe knows that he's falling behind. As you might imagine, the economy is getting big hits. He's getting really hurt, so going for a fourth. While on HuK's side, we have still those gateways there. What else? More gateways getting built on the natural expo, and seems like we're going to have a confrontation here with those stalkers trying to blink back and survive the aggression from the roaches of mOOnGLaDe, and still working on the upgrades, with HuK now going for the +2, and these roaches are they're all +2 as well. So I think that HuK is still falling a little bit behind there on the upgrades, but almost kicking in that +2. Also his stalkers already have blink, so this is going to provide them with a lot more DPS, as long as they get properly microed. We will be having HuK with these stalkers lasting longer, much longer than they're supposed to be, and taking the advantage on the DPS. Now massive concave ensuing here, with a lot of roaches getting smashed by HuK. There's the roaches attempting to take HuK away from this natural expo once more. And now 3 immortals helping out, so this is going to be really troublesome. All of these roaches, will they be able to resist this aggression? +2 stalkers backed up by those +2 immortals. Immortals just go through roaches like butter, and this is going to be so troublesome, but seems like the roaches are focusing the fire on the immortals. A 4th immortal showing up, blinking his stalkers all the way back, and these roaches are just completely in dire straits, with mOOnGLaDe able to thwart the aggression once more. But as you can see, HuK just went for that 4th base, and at the same time he's making a new base here. It's going to be his fourth on this corner. And what the hell he's doing with his pylons? I guess he's writing stuff. But okay, let's keep moving on. And here comes the roaches again versus the stalkers. Stalkers advancing. I don't think there's enough roaches here. Let's take a look at the armies once more. As you can see on the supply, we do have HuK leading the way. 123 versus 99. On the army, 25 stalkers, so completely stalker heavy and stacked. And then now some sentries warping in, immortals and zealots against 29 roaches. I don't think that mOOnGLaDe has enough at the moment, but he will be able to replenish his army as long as his 3 base play keeps rolling. But doesn't seem to be the case here. As you can see, it's all completely destroyed. I mean, it doesn't have much here, doesn't have much of a worker force, so I can't consider that as a proper base. At least he's not benefiting from the economy coming out of there. And as you can see on the worker count, there's a massive difference. 64 against 32. It even feels like the Zerg is HuK, and well, it isn't. And now we're going to have this multi-pronged assault here with the roaches trying to arrive. Nice blink downstairs there by HuK, going into this third base from mOOnGLaDe and able to snipe it. So no chance there by mOOnGLaDe, working out of 2 bases now with his economy, getting a big shot. 1200 for HuK and rising against 800, 900 for mOOnGLaDe. This doesn't look good, this looks quite grim, but here comes the roaches once more, advancing towards the forces of HuK, focusing the fire on the immortals. They need to put those immortals down really quickly, but there's way too many forces by HuK, and this irresistible force was able to stop mOOnGLaDe on his tracks. Keep in mind that mOOnGLaDe was leading this game 1-0 this series, and now it's 1-1, it's tied. What the hell was he doing here with the pylons? To me it looks like, let me take the light, it looks like EG. What do you guys think? I think it's EG that is getting here with the pylons. But like I was saying, I mean, HuK was just relentless on the aggression. He kept pressuring and pressuring. That 6 gate opening was just deadly against the forces that mOOnGLaDe had, and well, he wasn't enough, and he wasn't able to handle the pressure. He even attempted to get that 3 base play rolling, but the moment that those stalkers start streaming into his base, it was just hell break loose, and we never had mOOnGLaDe having control of his bases properly anymore, and that happened quite early on the game. So impressive moves here by HuK, very aggressive on his 6 gateway push, then getting it backed up by this robotics facility that gave him the observer to take a look at what was going on mOOnGLaDe's side, and also getting some immortals to dish out a lot of damage against those roaches. Twilight Council worked on that blink upgrade for the stalkers, which was the core, as you guys know, from HuK's army. So very well played, good decision making here by HuK, and now the series is tied 1-1. We're going to have to go for the final matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later, have fun.